Matt Fraction and Jorge Jiménez's run on Batman continued this week in the pages of Batman #2. If you've been keeping up with this series, then you'll know that the last issue ended with Batman receiving a call from Robin, Tim Drake, asking if they had any friends left on the police force, because he was being arrested. The answer to this question is basically no. The current commissioner of the GCPD is the immortal Vandal Savage, and he runs it with an iron fist. He forced out Batman's allies like Harvey Bullock and Rene Montoya, and the former Commissioner Gordon is now a beat cop, so it's not like he has any influence. It's very much a dark new day in Gotham City, and that really makes the vibrant colours of the heroes' costumes stand out. Batman and Robin want to be seen. They want the people to know that they are being protected, and they want the criminals to think twice. This issue is very much a story about abuse of power. What happens when those that are supposed to protect instead become violent perpetrators of crimes themselves, and where Batman and Robin fit into this. The story opens with a brief flashback showing us the day that Batman taught Robin to drive. It seems like a happier time, with the youngest Robin, Damian, washing the car while Alfred looks on. Robin thinks that his first lesson will be in the Batmobile, but Batman tells him that he's got to master the basics before he can handle a beast like that. In the present day, Robin interrupts a heist with mysterious goods being stolen from a truck by thieves wearing gold masks that resemble the supervillain Anarchy. In fact, one of them, the guy in the red jacket, may even be Anarchy himself. Anarchy is a villain created in the 1980s who punished the corrupt elites of Gotham in inventive ways. When he debuted, he was a child that dressed up as an adult, and as such he is traditionally clashed with Robin. But here, it's not clear if it's actually him or just a tribute act. Robbing a truck somehow just seems beneath him, but I guess we'll see. In the struggle, the driver is shot, which was not part of the plan, and the thieves flee as the police arrive. During the chaos, one of the thieves heads down an alleyway, but is bashed on the head by Robin's staff, shattering his mask. With his loot spilled out all over the floor, it's revealed that he had stolen baby formula to feed his child. When the police arrive, the man tries to flee again, but is shot dead by Officer Vargas, despite Robin's protests. With the suspect down, they turn their attention to the boy Wonder and attempt to arrest him. For what exactly? They don't really say. While Vandal Savage is against Batman and Robin, he hasn't expressly ordered their capture. In the last issue, he introduced a new task force, Tuco, specifically for dealing with costumed crime. I guess the officers feel a little insecure and would like to prove themselves to their boss by bringing in one of the most well-known costumed vigilantes. Robin makes a good attempt at escaping though, before he gets clipped and falls to the ground. So yeah, there's definitely some commentary on overzealous policing right here. Did an unarmed man who stole baby powder need to be shot dead? He wasn't the one that shot the driver. And did they really need to gun down Robin? If it wasn't already clear that these police officers are immoral, the next scene, where they chuck a handcuffed Robin into the back of their van, along with some unshackled suspects with bad intentions, should make it pretty obvious. So yes, they intended for Robin to become a victim of assault in a major abuse of their power. Still, just because he has his hands bound, that doesn't mean that he's defenseless. He does a fairly good job of fighting off the angry men, kicking them in the chin, while trying to remain steady despite the officers' intentionally erratic driving. Eventually, Robin is able to break free, and in the chaos the police fail to notice that Batman has arrived, along with his handy bat spikes, to pop the tyres. Despite being shot, Robin is still in pretty good shape after the collision and Batman lets him out. However, the two police officers aren't willing to let them go. While Officer Vargas is adamant that he's going to arrest Batman too, lol, his partner is less keen on the idea, saying that Batman and Robin are on their side. Batman makes it very clear that police brutality and murder puts them on opposite sides. And that goes for both of them, not just Vargas. The story doesn't shy away from the consequences of impulsive aggression though. Officer Vargas and his partner, both quick to draw, end up shooting each other in the heat of the moment. Batman intervenes to prevent further tragedy while Robin's quick thinking disarms one of them, yet Vargas still manages a devastating shot, hitting Batman in the back of the head, showing just how dangerous unchecked aggression can become. Fortunately, his cowl is bulletproof, but getting blasted at that range from a shotgun does a lot of damage. When he comes to, Batman is clearly concussed and needs Robin's help escaping in the Batmobile. Hence the flashbacks to when he learned to drive. Now, I really like the description of this version of the Batmobile. It has 13 gears, 9 standard, 3 quantum gears for dealing with crises, and a secret 13th gear for God knows what. Basically, Batman has the coolest car on Earth and now Robin gets to drive it. The issue ends with Commissioner Savage surveying the devastation. Officer Vargas has died from his wounds and the second officer is being carted off in an ambulance. When a reporter asks Savage about what happened, he orders their camera destroyed and their jaws broken. However, when looking at the crime scene, he finds something that brings a big smile to his face. A batarang. Now he has the excuse he wanted to mark Batman and Robin as enemies of the city and calls for their arrest. So yes, this is another strong issue. What makes it land so effectively is the way it balances spectacle with moral consequences. It's thrilling, yes, to see Batman and Robin navigate chaos and danger, but the story never lets us forget the stakes of impulsive aggression and abuse of authority. The events with Officer Vargas and his partner show what happens when those meant to protect abandon restraint. The violence, the mistakes, and the tragic outcomes serve as a reminder that power comes with responsibility, and that failure to exercise it carefully can turn protectors into threats. At the same time, Batman and Robin's intervention reinforces a clear ethical stance without preaching. They don't deliver a lecture, they act fairly and justly. They shield, disarm, and guide, making choices that contrast sharply with the officer's recklessness. By letting the consequences unfold naturally, the story highlights accountability and moral courage as intrinsic to heroism. It's a dark and tense chapter that really underlines the enduring truth of Batman. Vigilance and integrity are just as important as strength and skill. And let's just briefly compare Batman to Vandal Savage. Savage wields his power with an iron fist, reshaping Gotham to his will and punishing anyone who doesn't fit into his vision. He represents authority divorced from accountability, more interested in control than justice. Batman, by contrast, operates within constraints of his own ethics. Even when the law fails, he measures every action against his moral compass. He's never excessive, even when dealing with people that harm his loved ones. Where Savage seeks fear, Batman seeks responsibility. Where Savage coerces obedience, Batman inspires choice. Savage's influence has created a police force that mirrors his authoritarian impulses, leading to the chaos with Vargas and his partner. Batman's intervention, meanwhile, is strategic and morally grounded, showing that true power isn't about striking first, but about knowing when and how to act. The issue doesn't just tell a story about corruption and oppression, it sets up a larger dialogue about leadership, ethics, and the kind of city Gotham should aspire to be. And now that Batman is at odds with the police again, I think we're in for a very interesting ride. Batman number 2 is available now from all good comic shops. If you are based in the UK and don't have a comic shop near you, then you might want to use my affiliate link with the UK's biggest comic book retailer, Forbidden Planet. I have included a link in the pinned comment on this video. Alternatively, if the idea of hoarding a collection of comic books fills you with dread, I just got back from LA Comic Con and resisted buying any comics. Am I dying? You may want to try getting a digital copy of the issue from Amazon. I also have an affiliate link with them, which you could use to help my channel out. This is also included in the pinned comment. To those that have read this issue, what did you think? I really like the way that all of these new Bat gadgets are introduced throughout this series. The Bat bangs, the Bat boots, the Bat spikes, and the Bat bandages. Honestly, it gives me Adam West Batman vibes in a way. He had a Bat gadget for absolutely everything. Also, the flashbacks to Tim learning to drive and his performance anxiety showed that Matt Fraction gets this character. Sometimes he can be a bit too into his own head, worrying about things that haven't happened yet or may never happen. And finally, I like the different themed gangs we've seen in this series so far. The creeps from the first issue and what looks like a neon bone guy from Batman and Robin in the back of the police van. Or I suppose he could be one of Dr. Phosphorus's henchmen from Creature Commandos. Which themed gang do you think we'll see in the next issue? I'm partial to the Luchador Banes from Little Santa Prisca myself. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next time. Well, that brings us to the end of this bumper week of comic book releases. Next week, things go back to normal with one video about Absolute Batman 13, which features the debut of Absolute Catwoman. With her advanced suit and assortment of gadgets, plus wily old spy Alfred Pennyworth, perhaps Batman finally has the firepower to go after Bane. Hope to see you then.